We made it, guys. We're here at the end. Here's our Q&A section. This is going to be your opportunity to air your grievances. Let us know your thoughts, questions, concerns. What's
Mhm.
on your mind? Any pressing questions that we got? Oh, look at that. Amazing in the chat. All right. So we have question number one. Why does escrow analysis change yearly? Great question. Okay, so your escrow analysis is going to change on a year-to-year basis due to a couple of different factors. Your mortgage payment is made up of four key elements. It's going to be your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI. I'm sure you'll hear that term a lot thrown around as you go through this process. Your principal and interest are two payments that will stay the same. Your taxes and insurance are what go into what's called an escrow account, which is more it's basically you can think of it as a savings account that is established by your title company, and it's money that's set aside from your payments to pay your taxes and insurance on a yearly basis. Now, reasons why that might change is because of, again, those taxes and insurance. Those are variable assets or variable items. Those things might change on a year to year basis. Your taxes might go up or down. Your insurance rates might go up or down. If you've been a homeowner in the Central Florida area for any amount of time, I'm sure you've seen that your insurance prices go up pretty often, especially if you live in an area maybe that might be more prone to flooding. So these are things that will affect your escrow analysis as well as your taxes. If, for example, crime goes up in your area and it becomes a less desirable area to live, your insurance might go up for that reason. Your taxes might go up because they just built a new facility, a new hospital or a fire department or a police station, or something might have just been built in the area that will make the property value go up, and therefore your taxes, which would affect your escrow analysis. So that's a little insight onto why that might be happening. I hope that that sort of helps clear things up a little bit for you. Okay.
All right, what's our next question?
Looks like our next question is going to be thoughts on new construction versus pre-owned. Awesome
Ah,
question. That's definitely one we'll be able to shed some light on as well. Both of
yes.
us actually are homeowners. Interesting enough, Kimberly bought a new construction. I bought a pre-owned. So perfect. Here we go.
Mhm.
I'll let Miss Kimberly get a few seconds to talk since I'm sure you yamming your ear off these last couple seconds.
All right, so here's the thing. You have to really think about your budget when considering a new construction home. So it's wonderful that you're getting it brand new, no one's lived in it. If there are any problems, usually there's some kind of warranty that covers the structure of the home. So if you find that something's wrong with the drywall within that first year, you should be able to contact your builder's warranty department and they're going to fix it for you. Um, Now, with all of that being said, before your home was built, it was on land. And this kind of goes back to that escrow analysis. Um, when it was just land, the taxes were, one number. But then after putting a home on it, that property now has a lot more value, and therefore the taxes go up a lot. They go up a lot. So if you do buy new construction, know that your taxes will go up. It's not like a maybe they will, maybe they will. They absolutely will go up because that property has more value now. And with that being said, you could find yourself in a situation where your monthly payment has increased. So your principal and interest are not going to change, but because your taxes have gone up, your monthly payment is now going to go up because you're going to have to be putting more and more and more into this escrow account in order to keep up with those taxes. And that can put people in, a bad situation where suddenly they can no longer afford the home anymore. So that is something to really take into consideration when purchasing a new construction home. However, if you plan accordingly and you know you're able to put a few hundred extra dollars into escrow in that first year so that you kind of get ahead of that, then you should be okay. But if you don't think that that's going to be good for your budget, then really take that into consideration. Another thing you have to take into consideration with new construction homes is a CDD. So if you are buying a new construction home, I highly recommend that you buy one that does not have a CDD in that community. If you don't know what a CDD is, that's Community Development District, and it's basically extra taxes that you pay at the end of the year because it costs money to make a new community. It costs money to build roads, it costs money to connect to the different utilities, and somebody's going to pay for it, and it's going to be you, the consumer. So keep that in mind with your budget because if, let's just say, your taxes on your property are $5,000 and you have a CDD, that could be, $2,500. Now, the taxes that you have to pay at the end of the year are $7,500. And if you don't have enough in escrow, your monthly payment is going to skyrocket. And if you can't afford it, well, now you have an issue where you could be potentially facing foreclosure. So really take into consideration your entire budget if you're thinking about a new construction home.
That's a great conversation to have with your mortgage professional as well as your realtor because we'll be able to figure out these kinds of things and help you navigate those waters a little bit better as well. As far as thoughts on pre-owned, I personally, like I said, bought a pre-owned property. I personally try to recommend that whenever possible, just because I'd like to say a little bit more entrepreneurial minded. I like when there's still a little bit of meat on the bones, so to speak, at least equity wise, right? Because when you're buying a new construction, you do have to keep aware you are buying a property at the top of the market, right? The builder built the home specifically to sell it at market value, meaning you're not going to get any discounts, you're not going to get any equity, at least for a while of living in that home. So that is something that you're going to want to consider. Whereas if you buy something pre-owned, it's not just likely, it's very, it's not just possible, I should say, but it's likely that you're going to be able to purchase some form of equity. That person can take a discount on this home. They've been in it forever. A lot of the times people just want to move on. There was a lot more opportunity to get something slightly under market value, which can get you some instant equity, which is something that I personally try to advocate for as much as possible because, that's how you're going to build wealth. With that being said, you are still buying a used home. So keep in mind, you're going to want to get an inspection done on that property. There will be an appraisal, of course, on that property as well. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on there, and not everybody is going to want to obviously renovate a property if it's not been renovated in a little bit. Not everybody's going to want to deal with not having the latest and greatest new shiny appliances that might come in a new construction home. But again, you'd have to weigh whether that's worth it or not to have that equity position.
Right.
So those are kind of just a little bit of the pros and cons of buying a new construction versus pre-owned. If you can buy something that's, got good foundation, recently renovated, and under market value as a pre-owned, that would probably potentially make more sense. But again, these are conversations that are best to have on an individual by individual basis with your mortgage professional and your realtor as well.
Right, because I mean, even with a resale home, you might find yourself wondering, oh, well, what if the refrigerator breaks down in a couple of years or whatever? But there are home warranties for that can
Exactly.
help kind of mitigate the costs. And then for new construction, you might think, oh, well, those builders are offering me $15,000 in closing costs and a 3.99 interest rate. Why shouldn't I go with them? Well, because of all those tax issues that I explained, that could be an issue. And your realtor could potentially negotiate for some concessions from the seller of a resale home. So you really have to think about it on your personal situation on a situation by situation basis.
A good realtor and a good mortgage lending team will tell you not just the pros, but also the cons
Yeah.
of everything that we're looking at. We want to make a good decision because when you are winning, we're winning. We got to
Yeah.
make educated decisions, good or bad. So let's see, what's our next question? Looks like we have, can I use multiple down payment assistance programs on one loan? Um, Not usually, unfortunately. In most cases, you'll find that lenders are going to limit you to one down payment assistance program per loan. That's not to say that it's never going to happen. I personally have just not really seen a case where you're allowed to stack up down payment assistance programs. With that being said, there's not typically much need to do that. We can pretty much always find you a very robust way of getting you those closing costs and down payment assistance if needed. So you're not really going to need to stack them like that. But even if you wanted to, it's not really going to be too common that you even can, unfortunately. I wish, right? Just buy a house completely off of down payment assistance. That'd be awesome, right? But unfortunately, no, that's not really how that works. So let's see. Next question and last one is going to be, can property depreciate in value over time?
Mm.
I'll let you handle
So,
that one, Miss Kimberly.
yeah, so I mean, buying real estate is a long game investment, kind of like stocks. You know, if you look at the stock market, you pay attention to that. If you look at it day to day, it fluctuates a lot, right? Oh, if you look at crypto day to
Oh,
day, it
jeez.
fluctuates so much. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's
I don't
down
want to talk
again, and
about
then
it. I
it's
just
up.
lost money on XRP.
See, so, but just like with stocks, with when it comes to real estate, if you hold on to it, more likely than not, over time, it's going to have overall appreciation. So
Exactly.
maybe from month to month, you might see some issues in the sense that maybe for these few months, there's a lot of inventory, a lot of homes out on the market, and so sellers are not getting as much for their homes as they could be. But even still, your home still has a lot of value. So if you just hold on, it's going to continue to gain value. I'll give you this example. My dad purchased a home in 1999 for $91,000. It's not in a special neighborhood. It's not gated. Matter of fact, I'd almost consider it the hood.
Hmm?
And his home sold for $350,000. And
Jeez,
that's
wow.
without being fixed up. That's with, I
Man,
mean, it needed a lot of work. That was like the investor special. So
yeah.
imagine if you're actually taking care of your home and you're keeping up with it, you know, you can really gain a lot of wealth and appreciation in the home. So, for the most part, over time, homes are not going to go down in value unless you just really, really don't care for them and they're really completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's one of those instances where you do still have to buy kind of smart because it depends on your goals, right? If you're trying to flip it in the next year, you're going to need to purchase it a little bit differently than if it's something that's your dream home. You're going to stay in there forever. But at the end of the day, they're not making more land, right? It's just supply and demand. So over time, yeah, it's very likely to just keep going up in value. But in the short term, right, there could be there could be crime, there could be an inventory issue, there could be a this, there could be a that. There always is in life, right? So it really just depends on your goal and how long you intend to stay in that home before you decide maybe it's time to move on. And again, that's also, I'm going to repeat this a lot every single time. It's something that you need to talk to your realtor and your loan professional about, because we're kind of like doctors in the sense that you need to tell us everything that's going on, good, bad, and ugly, so that we can help you the best that you can. Withholding information is not going to make us make the best decision or help us make the best decision for you moving forward. So let us know how long you plan on staying in the property, and we'll make sure you get into something that is very more likely to keep going up in value. You won't have to worry about depreciating or even going under on your loan or anything like, or upside down, I should say, on the value of your property.
I'm so glad that you guys got something from this, that you feel like this has been beneficial for you. Before you go, we're going to give out our information here so you can get with us on a one-on-one meeting. I'm going to clear that so that doesn't go with us to the next page. All
If you
right,
do
there
want
we
to reach out,
go.
connect, top shop, here's all the ways you can connect with us on our socials, email, phone number, any which way you can think of.
All right, yes, definitely. You can send me a text. I will be the one responding to you. I love talking to people and helping you guys out. So I look forward to hearing from all of you soon. Remember, Akeen and I both are going to be doing weekly webinars. So look out for the next one on our socials. And yeah, I hope you all have a good night.
Hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for coming. We'll see y'all in the next one.